This is it.
Tonight on Hotty Toddy News, Governor Tate Reeves discussing COVID-19 vaccinations in his State of the State address. On campus, a vaccine task force awaiting the arrival of COVID-19 vaccinations. And a new memorial set to be built to replace the Confederate statue on the square. More coming up. Stay tuned.
From the School of Journalism and New Media on the campus of the University of Mississippi, this is Hotty Toddy News.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves yesterday delivering his 2021 State of the State address, this time from the steps of the Capitol due to COVID-19 restrictions. The governor praising Mississippians' spirit in the face of adversity and also pushing back on doubts that the state is still in an uphill battle against the virus. The governor ensuring that the state is in the final stretch with the arrival of the coronavirus vaccinations across the state.
I want you to know, I reject the false narrative that is being pushed by some which says this is our new normal. That even after vaccination, we need to just continue to hide away and live in perpetual isolation. That's just wrong. This is it. This is our moment. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and Mississippi is sprinting towards it.
Statistics from the Mississippi Department of Health show that over 180,000 COVID-19 vaccinations have been administered so far, but all of the appointments for the first dose of COVID-19 vaccinations have been booked. Experts estimating that new appointments won't be available until mid-February. And on campus, the COVID-19 vaccination task force still awaiting the word on when vaccine doses will arrive for faculty and staff.
As soon as vaccines available on campus, we will use the university systems to notify faculty and staff that it's available.
Along with faculty and staff, students eagerly awaiting the arrival of vaccines on campus.
I just can't wait till we're all vaccinated.
Yesterday, the Board of Aldermen reinstated the mask mandate, making it mandatory to wear a mask outside when social distancing is not obtainable. This mandate in response to complaints this weekend about long lines outside bars on the square, neglecting both social distancing and mask wearing.
I'm not fully confident in it working because I know that people in Oxford and at Ole Miss don't care about COVID and they think that it's a done deal at this point.
It'll be really difficult to enforce it. A police officer can just come up and be like, oh, put your mask on while you're waiting in line, and somebody might do it and then they walk away and they take it off again.
With controversy surrounding the Oxford Square's historic Confederate monument, the city is hoping to erect a new lynching memorial on the Lafayette County Courthouse lawn. Tonight, Grayson Ashmore with the exclusive story.
The Board of Aldermen approved the revised language for the marker earlier this week, solidifying the next step for approval. Member of the Lynching Memorialization in Lafayette County, Mississippi Committee, Reverend Duncan Gray, says they worked with the Board of Aldermen on the plans for this monument. He says he supports the new marker, even with the uncertainty of the lynching victims' backgrounds.
Here's not the actions of these 7 individuals. We take no plead ignorance as to their guilt or not. The issue is being that whole legal process being short-circuited, and that's the focus of the marker.
The text for the monument has been approved by the Board of Supervisors, but if it is erected, it'll reside right here in the heart of the city.
University Associate Professor of History and African American Studies, Dr. Shanette Garrett-Scott, explains why this is important for the victims and their families.
We really do have to, privilege the voices of these family members and how they feel, because for so long, their loved ones have, been erased from history in very brutal ways.
The proposal was approved by the Mississippi Department of Archives and History and now only needs final consent from the Board of Supervisors. Grayson Gordon, Hotty Toddy News.
And the group expects construction to take place this summer. They have yet to finalize the exact location. Many businesses have been impacted by the pandemic. Restaurants have suffered. Some owners have closed their doors. But for one well-known business, not much has changed. Hotty Toddy reporter Tierney Key has the story.
I mean, sales have been there basically every single day, and we haven't really suffered at all.
Bar sales are at a steady pace, despite Ole Miss students going home for the break. I spoke with Flunky's manager, Peyton Attaway. He says locals keep them in business.
I don't think sales have really changed too much. Maybe on the weekends we're a little bit busier and we're busier longer. But typically, even without the students here, we were still busy with, locals. And
Attaway said advertising local promotions through the week is what brings in the crowd.
we run deals Monday through Thursday, and you can definitely tell that more people will come out when they can get those deals. And, basketball season's helping, football season helped with just people coming out earlier.
Evelyn C. is one of the many students who continues to support the local promotions.
Sometimes I go to Funky's and watch The Bachelor. They'll put on the show and you can have a drink and have pizza and stuff. Sometimes I go to Tango's when they do 2-for-1 drinks or 2-for-1 beers.
Despite the new norms, the community and local advertising is keeping bar sales steady during this time. I'm Tierney Key reporting for Toddy News.
Thanks, Tierney. It's good to see local businesses staying afloat. And elsewhere in the local community, the Oxford Community Market, who has been battling food insecurity in the Oxford area during COVID-19, is awaiting a new community cupboard to expand its services to those in need. Tyler McDowell has the story.
The Oxford Community Market built a cupboard at the Armory Pavilion in Oxford in 2020 to provide free food and toiletry items 24 hours a day for those in need. The most recent census data shows 1 in 3 Oxford residents are living in poverty. The RSVP volunteer representative Marley Carpenter works with the Oxford Community Market, and she says the situation has worsened with the pandemic.
Of course, our food insecurity programs are at their highest max at this point. We have a lot of people who haven't needed food in the past, are now requesting these foods.
Oxford Community Market Director Betsy Chapman says she sees the need every day when they are restocking the cupboard.
Quickly saw with the amount of food that was moving through the little pantry is that we needed a bigger cupboard with multiple shelves.
Chapman is planning to install a new cupboard at the pavilion next week. She is hoping this will increase awareness of the need.
We tend to forget that there are people who live and work among us that have this need, and it's our job to advocate for services to help.
After the new installation is placed here, the market will begin to install more across Oxford due to the funding from Mississippi Care Clinic. This is Tyler McDowell, Toddy News.
The community cupboard is asking for donations, which include non-perishable foods, toiletries, and meal kits to help keep the pantry stock full. And finally, the Ole Miss 2021 football schedule was officially announced this afternoon. The schedule is highlighted by Lane Kiffin's first trip to Tuscaloosa for a rematch against his former mentor, Nick Saban, and Hugh Freeze's big return to Vaught Hemingway as the head coach of the Liberty Flames.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great schedule for us. I'm hoping that we can win most of them. I wish we had some more SEC home games.
The return to a normal 12-game schedule with 4 non-conference games gives Coach Kiffin's squad a much easier route to a bowl game for the reigning Outback Bowl champions. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Toddy News. I'm Matthew.